give my phone.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Ryno. I like making that sound at Grant. He hates it. The goat sound. What's up, everybody? The Thursday edition of the King's Court. Thanks for bearing with me on the late start. We had a late change of plans, actually. We were supposed to be on the road, but we are back in the studio. I come to you conflicted and convicted. Conflicted and convicted. I'll let you know why in a second. We're going to have some fun today because this is not a conversation that most people enjoy. In fact, anybody who is between the ages of like 35 and 60 don't like having this conversation, but we're going to make it a little more fun. And yes, somebody whose free agency that we do not talk about on this channel is back in the news stream, not for his free agency, but his baggery. That's what he's back in the news for. And so we will talk about that, which is why I am convicted today. I'll tell you why I'm conflicted in a few minutes. Let's check in with all of you. What's up, Vacaville Richie? Dude, that was brutal yesterday. Brutal loss, man. I flipped it on. I found the replay of it. Holy crap. That was a really, really, really bad 12 minutes, right? Oh, super disappointed in the match yesterday, being a British citizen. That one hurt. I don't even like soccer. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to go in on the British. I'm not. But to be that close, I actually had Team Britain. Thanks, MC. Hit the thumbs up. Would really appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who has taken me up on the founder's offer for the King's Court Discord. We've got a ton of you that have already signed up. You know who won a membership yesterday? That was Peter. He won a membership yesterday. Peter, man, that's a special membership. You won't know why. You're not going to know why, but that's a special one. And Kurt, thanks for signing up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll talk about it later in the show. We are launching the King's Court Discord for the 26-27 Kings season. It will be members only. So it will be a monthly subscription price, but thanks to Bennett and many of you, we're offering a 2-week special. We've got what? 8 days? 8 show days? No, we have 6 show days, 7 show days left to get the special. $20 gets you the entire season and a founder's t-shirt, Venmo, PayPal, QR codes right there. If you want to get in on the action, we're going to do live watch parties during the Kings games. Not every game, obviously. We're going to have monthly, if not every couple of weeks, meetings on there. And if you're not familiar with Discord, it's a different forum than this. I'm not sitting here and talking to all of you. We're talking to each other. And then we're also going to have some exclusive guests. So make sure you hop on that offer if you want the full season and a founder's t-shirt. And thanks to those that have done so already. So we'll get into that a little bit more as the show goes on. Dude, I put it in the time. I literally put it in the time. 3:05. Did I start at 3:06? My bad. You know, you are part of the reason I'm conflicted. You don't know it, and you don't know why, but I'll tell you in a second. I take it we lost against Boston. I mean, what were your expectations? 1, it's Summer League. 2, you're not playing any of the outside of Emmanuel Sharp. You're not playing Acuff. You're not playing Neek. You're not playing Max. You did play Dylan Cardwell. But, you know, I actually turned that one off. I know. You know what? That's not fair to say. I didn't even turn that one on because I saw the numbers from the first quarter. My buddy Brendan Nunez tweeted out the Kings were 2 of 21 in the first quarter, scoring only 4 points. 2 of 21. And it's fine. I get it. You don't have your guys out there. Caravan had a decent game. He had a decent game, yes. Caravan had his best game, but you don't have your guys out there that are going to be playing big minutes next year or this season. So I guess if your expectations were really high on that it was going to be okay. Yeah, not so much. Not so much. Spot on. What did Peter say? If you're saying spot on to Peter, let's see. When you play not to lose, you don't win. Yeah, that's true in all sports. Is there a sport where that's not true? Honestly, no. I'm not that. I'm not. I'm not, my man. But only you. Patrick also, he joined. Patrick is joining as well. The Discord. So thank you, Patrick. Appreciate that. I'm 60. Jordan is the best player I've ever seen. So he knows where I'm going with the part of the conversation that nobody likes, but we're going to make it fun because we're not going to keep it just to that category. I mean, LeBron is no slouch. For me, it's MJ. All right. When I see OUCH and LeBron, slouch is not the word that comes to mind. It is a different word. You can guess what that word is. I've already said it once in the show. Go Spurs, go! Lynn doing his own show in the chat. Big Daddy, what's all the hype? Soccer. If I wanted to see a bunch of guys run around and not score, I'd take a couple of my buddies to the bar. All right, yeah, Big Daddy.
Sure. Everything you just said.
All right, Big Daddy. You're making your presence known here. I got to give you credit, man. You are making your presence known in the King's Court. You've relatively come out of nowhere, and you've made an impact. You are an impact player. I'll put it that way right now. Like the first couple times that we saw Keon Ellis ball out, that's where you're at right now.
Daddy's back.
I want to watch a bunch of guys run around and not score. I take my buddies to the bar. The only question is, does that mean you're not scoring as well? Got to turn the table on you. Go Argentina, dude. Unreal how it works for them, man. I go back to the Swiss game, and we're not going to get into a bunch of soccer talk, but I go back to the Swiss game and how that yellow card plays out. It's just, yeah. Argentina seems to get some very, very good calls. Starship takes off at 3:45-ish. I'm here until then. Love it, MC. Okay, cool. So what's up to everybody else? We'll get back to your chats. Yeah, Big Daddy's kind of doing his own show too. Not gonna lie. Okay, so MC says MJ is the GOAT. So if you're not familiar with something that's called Fanatics Fest, it goes on, or at least I believe this is at least the second year, maybe the third year that it goes on in New York. And it is a big sports convention, a lot around cards, memorabilia, but all of the big names from every sport, every quasi sport, wrestling, UFC, whatever, they are there in New York showing up. It's a chance for the fans to pay, get pictures with athletes, also listen in on panels. Excited. Think about Comic-Con down in San Diego. It's that for sports. That's really what it is. So, of course, LeBron James is there. And again, we're not talking his free agency. I said we are not doing that show anymore until he picks a team. And I already know. I am 99. You know what? Ooh, I don't want to write on that. I'll write on the back of this. Okay, look. This piece of paper, blank. King's Guide. I will even write on the inside of this page right here. I'm gonna scribble across it. Right there. Okay. So you all know that this is the right piece of paper. I'm writing the team down where he's going to be. And then we will fold this over when he finally announces it, because there's some people that I highly trust. Okay, there's my pick. What's the date? It is 7/16. Okay, and I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm going to give you when the announcement is. All right, perfect. It's written down. We're over his stuff now. We'll revisit that once he finally announces it. And today he didn't say he doesn't know where he's going. He's not ready to make the announcement. But that's not why I'm talking about him. Here's why I'm talking about him. He was up with Tyrese Halliburton, okay? And somehow the conversation shifts to, well, how long do you think that you could play, right? And I hope this comes through. I hope it's loud enough to where it comes through. I got it from Jim Rome. Let's hope it works. But this is LeBron talking about how long he believes he could play in the NBA and score 10 points.
A long time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like a long time.
So what do you think?
65, something like that.
65 years old. I mean, I believe you. Just like come in, get a quick 10, you can go sit down.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look, I don't get fouls called for me anymore, so I would say like get 3 layups and 4 free throws, but they don't call fouls for me. So,
has there ever been a bigger bag than this guy? Like your body of work stands for itself. Your longevity, you're at the top of most points scored ever in the NBA, and you're bitching about fouls to fans at Fanatics Fest, and you're going to sit here and say you could score 10 points at the age of 65, and you could do that up to the age of 65. Here's my point about those comments. Yo, LeBag, we know that. You don't have to say it. If there was ever a basketball player that might be able to play until the age of 65, it might be you. And yes, defense is the first thing that goes. It's not offense. You could roll out a bunch of guys that are already in the Hall of Fame that could score 10 points in an NBA game still, especially in this NBA where people just post up behind the three-point line. LeBag has to vocalize everything that many of us that cover the sport, follow the sport, are fans of the sport, already assume. Like, that's not like crazy to me to think about LeBron at 65. It sounds nuts, but like if there was a player, like if you came up to me and you said, hey, Ryno, out of this generation, like if there was one player that could play till 65 and probably get 10, who do you think it would be? LeBron James would probably come out of my mouth. It would either be LeBron or Wemby, but it would probably be LeBron because of Wemby's body style, right? And then you top it off with shots at the freaking referees. Has anybody gotten more calls in the history of the NBA than LeBag? Come on, my man.
a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like a long time.
So what do you think?
65, something like that.
65 years old. I mean, I believe you. Just like come in, get a quick 10, you can go sit down.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look, I don't get fouls called for me anymore, so I would say like get 3 layups and 4 free throws, but they don't call fouls for me. So,
garbage.
That's what that is, LeBron. I'm so sick of Zach. So the first part of this show where I said I am convicted, I am full of conviction, it is part of the conversation that nobody really likes to have. And it's the easiest, laziest conversation that there is. Who is the greatest of all time? The GOAT, right? It's completely subjective. But today, I have decided my GOAT, the top of the list for me is Michael Jordan. Second on the list is Kobe Bryant. Third is LeBag. Guess what, LeBag? You probably would have been higher on the list if you weren't such a freaking bag. You know why those two are ahead of you on the list? Their games did the talking. You looked in their eyes and you knew they meant business. Their body language said everything. They didn't have to go out and say, "Oh, I could score 10 till the age of 65. Oh, by the way, I don't get any calls." What a bad take.
You serious right now? You gotta be better.
People are curious.
Come on now, man. This is crazy.
You gotta be better than that. People are curious.
I really don't have an answer for that. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Strictly because of his off the court douchebaggery, he cannot be at the top of my list compared to the other two that were completely the opposite. So, if y'all want to have that conversation, you can have that conversation. What I was going to open it up to, though, since I brought up GOAT, greatest of all time, let's have some fun with it. You can pick the category, greatest of all time categories, and we can debate them. You could say movies. You could say chips. You could say sodas. Whatever it is. If you have a take on like the top 3 of whatever TV shows, movies that I'm embarrassed to say I like, my top 3, my GOAT list, whatever it is, we can talk about it. We're doing GOATs today. Damn it. Haunted Horse is going to go grab that. I should not have said that. So yeah, we'll do some GOAT talk. Now, here's where I'm conflicted. Anybody that's been a part of this show for any amount of time, and I appreciate all of you, know that this is a big dog house. And when I mean a big dog house, I mean, technically my house is a big dog house. So we have a dog that weighs 100 pounds, but I am not cat person. I am dog person. I don't understand cat person, especially if you're a grown adult male living by yourself and you have cats. And I have friends, just like Big Daddy has friends that would go run around the bar and not score. I have friends that are grown men that have cats. I just don't get it. I don't get why people love cats as pets. We've debated this back and forth so many times. I prefer dogs. Okay? Yeah, here we go. We're starting with it now. Cats rule, dogs drool. Cat owners are lazy, dude. They're lazy. Do you walk your cat, my man? Do you have to let your cat out to go to the bathroom? And your houses smell. Like you can always tell if somebody is a cat person the second you walk into their house. Now, you can hit me with Ryno. Don't bring, if your dog sheds, don't bring it to work. There's a reason I don't have a dog, because I don't want to deal with pet hair, but it's all over your shirt. You can go that way too. Okay? But here's where I'm conflicted. Liam really wants cats. My son wants cats. I understand we are going down a road that I am not going to be a fan of, but you obviously are going to put your kids in front of yourself, or at least you should. And so I've already talked to Haunted Horse about this. I'm like, all right, Horse, like, give me the lowdown. And he's like, well, you can't have one. You've got to have 2. If you have 1, then they're going to be more destructive. And so I've kind of come to a spot where it's like, all right, I know it's coming somewhere down the road. And I'm trying to meet my son in the middle. I'm like, hey, Liam, you can have cats, but they're going to be bald cats. Okay? They're going to be bald. We're going with Mr. Bigglesworth because I can't handle any more shedding. I am done with dogs that shed for the rest of my life after this one, although he is a great dog and it's not his fault. But so I'm trying to meet Liam in the middle. And then last night, I'm sitting here in the studio And I'm like, damn, I'm looking for a fly because that's another thing I can't stand. It's flies. If there is a fly in the room, I cannot relax because flies are the most disgusting insects in the world. Like they have no purpose, number one. What they do when they land and the way that it's gross. Gross. And they're also the stupidest insects in the world. You know why they're the dumbest insects in the world? You could have 3,000 feet of home to fly around. And guess what? All you want to do is keep playing tag with my arm. You're coming around my head. Like, they are stupid. So I corner this fly against the window because a lot of times they go to the light. And I have a fly gun, right? Have you seen those salt guns? They actually work really well. And it does have a freaking laser beam attached to it. Anyways, has a laser pointer. Anyways, so I'm going to murk this fly. I've gotten the right position. I saw where he was at. He doesn't see me. And all of a sudden, there is this little cat, not a kitten, not quite a kitten, but definitely not an adult. And it's sitting 5 feet from, the sliding glass door of the studio. And I'm like, interesting. I would have thought it would have run off. Like, it's looking right at me. And I'm like, what do I do? It's like 102, 3 degrees outside. There's a little overhang right here. So it's trying to get some shade. And the damn thing was so cute and so innocent. And I felt so damn bad for it. And so I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, here we go. Like, I'm like, no, this is not going to happen like this. I'm not going to get attached to this cat. I'm not doing it. It's a wild cat. Son, you're not coming anywhere near the cat. You don't know what they have. And then my night turns, and I can't stop thinking about this cat and this damn fly keeps going around the house. I don't even care about the fly anymore. I'm thinking about the cat. So much so that my son asked me if we could set up a camera on the cat. And I'm like, yeah, we'll do that. So we set up the iPad, we let it record. And finally, I crossed a line. I crossed a big line. I cracked open a can of tuna and I took it outside to the cat. So now, for the last, I don't know, 18 hours, it's been cat watch. How much tuna is out of the can? Is the cat back? Does the cat need water? And I'll give the cat this. It's a beautiful cat. It's like all gray and it's got stunning eyes. It's got really big ears like a French bulldog, which I used to have. I had a half Frenchie, half Boston Terrier named Brewski. And so now I don't know what to do. What if this cat adopts me? It's now my fault because I put tuna out there. Now my son knows there's a cat at the studio. And so now I am caught in the middle. I'm all up in my feels thinking about this cat when I don't even like cats. I don't want a cat. Yet I can't stop thinking about this damn cat. So like I said, I am convicted and conflicted today. I don't know what to do. The cat's like, it's like a game of, no pun, cat and mouse right now, where the cat sees me and it backs up and it's staring at me and I'm staring at it. I come closer, it takes a step back. And then we're just playing this game back and forth. So now the studio is on cat watch. That's what we're doing. And I only had 3 cans of tuna left. That's how much that damn cat kind of tugged at my heartstrings. I cracked open one of my last cans for this thing. I'm really conflicted. And it's like, okay, well, again, if it's an outside cat, you can't really turn it into an inside cat. Is it somebody else's cat? But I've never seen one here, not one time. But we did have somebody left the place next to me. And I don't know if maybe they left a cat behind or not, but yes, I am convicted and conflicted that it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan, number one, Kobe Bryant, and LeBag during my and that's why I said ages like 35 to 60 during my lifetime. I can't go back to the guys that I didn't watch play. But yes, so that's going on. I've laid it all out for you. Check in with the chat. Our Siamese live almost 20 years being an inside outside. Okay. So Peter's cat guy did not know that. Patrick has one big dog and two cats. Okay. So we've got cat people left and right now. The problem is in my household, my dog will eat the cat. Like, my dog does not play nice with other dogs, and it's not his fault per se. It's a long story. I believe in having your animals fixed, but because of his bloodline that was very close to my brothers-in-law and my wife, I backed off on having him fixed, and you know what that comes with, a little bit more aggressiveness. He's puppy dog tame, but if he sees another dog, he goes nuts, like nuts. I wasn't expecting to have these conversations today. I wasn't expecting those kind of feels yesterday and today. Damn it. AP, Jinxie Cat, where are you? We love you. I don't know what that means. It's from something. I was team dog until my first cat. Then I switched team cat. Stop it, horse. I see now I'm screening. I am screening your messages. Horse has met my dog. Yes. MC, we're all caught in the middle with you, Ryno. I'm caught in the middle, man. I am so team dog. I have always been team dog. I grew up with a cat. The first cat that I remember having was named Bandit, but I didn't choose Bandit. It was a calico. I think it was my parents' cat. So I grew up with Bandit, and then I had a cat. I found a kitten. That's what it was. I found a kitten in a creek or by a creek. And for all you that are talking about the MJ Kobe stuff, I named the damn cat MJ. So that tells you a little something. But after that, because the cats were so skittish, and then like the girl that I dated pretty much all through college, her parents had cats, and the damn things would just like attack you out of the blue, and they'd jump out of nowhere. And it's the claws, man. I don't like the claws. What's the name of your new YouTube cat channel? That's not part of the announcement. That is not part of the announcement, my man. But I am not launching, just to be clear, the forthcoming King's Court Discord, which is being built every single day. By the way, here it is, just for any of you like, what do you mean? You're not doing anything. Yes, I am. Here's the Discord. We're building it. Been building it out every single day. But we're launching a Discord for the 26-27 King season. It's going to be where I share a lot more information, more exclusive thoughts, one-on-one conversations with its members. It's going to be subscription only. So you can get in on it once we launch. It'll be a monthly subscription. I am offering for the rest of this week and next week, $20 gets you the full season and a t-shirt, compliments of Bennett's Restaurants. Check them out. Bennett's, Roseville, Rockland, Howe, and Fair Oaks. Fresh, all fresh. Seafood, prime steaks, and great specials, incredible specials. We'll talk about them more a little bit later. But you can get in and be a founding member. The founders are the people that have already signed up, running across the bottom. Once you sign up, I hit you up and get your mailing address, your email address, let you know how to sign up for Discord, and ask for your Discord username so you can be added as a founder on the channel. Which you will be. We'll be doing some exclusive interviews around there with basketball personalities. I already have a G League champion that has agreed to come on, and it's going to be different because it's not interview style. It's not anything that's like on the record or being recorded. So yeah, join it. You don't know when I'll go live either. I might be going live from the G1C during a game. I might do it from a press conference. So we'll see. We'll see. I might pop out of the blue, but we'll have monthly get-togethers, like I said, and just a lot of stuff. It's going to be the exclusive. Like, if you want to get in on the information before the information, that's where you're going to get a little bit more like reckless speculation that, I'm not ready to go public with, but I know is true. That's where you're going to get it right there. So join the Kings Court Discord launching mid-August. We'll have you covered for the 26-27 season. Any questions, hit me up, Ryno in Sacktown at gmail.com. All right, let's get back to the chat. And if you guys have any categories where you want to talk about something being the GOAT of that category, I'm open to having the conversation. Cats should be inside. Outside cats' average lifespan is 7 years. Indoor cat, 15 years. So when Liam gets cats, they're going to be outdoor cats? Is that what you're saying, Horse? No, I'm just kidding. Adopt it. Dude, it might be somebody's cat, but I'm kind of worried about it. I might need a hug. I just might. Ryno, will you be posting cat YouTube clips soon enough? I mean, you know what? Here's the problem. I've got to take the audio out because my voice is melting when I see this thing. Oh, the little kitty. Like, it's like something came over me. Do we have the audio? I'm not going to post it on YouTube for everybody, but maybe I'll play it here. Hold on. Do we have the audio of the cat? Little kitty. Oh, poor baby was just sitting right here. It's okay. It's okay, Mama. This would be a Discord thing. This normally would not be a YouTube thing. Poor thing. Aww. That's enough of that. Yes. I'm so scared. I felt so bad for it. Let's see if this comes across. See if it. Sorry for those that listen on the audio platform. That was me. That was the video that I took of the cat when I first saw it to show to my son. So now I'm going to show those watching on YouTube, if it comes through the camera, the cat. There it is. There is the cat. Poor thing. See, it's like the animal lover takes over the I don't like cat person. That's what's happening here. That's exactly what's happening here. I don't think I got a cat. I need to check on the can of tuna. So I don't want to leave that out way too. I don't want to leave that out for other animals. Should be kept outside. Did you claim the neighbor's cat? See, I can't even get that close to it, Peter. I haven't claimed anything. All I did was put a can of tuna out for the cat. I have not seen it since. Yeah, no, we set up cat cam. My son's like, you have your what did he say? He goes, you have your studio camera, you have your show camera. Put it on that. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. So I literally set up the iPad, but then once it went dark, you couldn't see anything. He loved that cat before he knew it. Dude, okay, so I will tell you this. If you're on a budget, this is gonna sound really funny. Okay. If you're on here's a goat conversation. If you are on a budget and your kids really enjoy animals, okay? The goat activity, the goat activity is to take them to Petco in Elk Grove. They've got all kinds. Like, you know how pet stores usually like aren't fully stocked? They've got everything. They've got the snakes, the lizards, the birds, the fish, and they also have an area for cats to be adopted. And so we went in there one time to look at the cats, and there was a gray one like that. And I'm like, oh, that's really cute. It's a unique color. It's not like light gray, it's like a dark gray. So it is kind of reminiscent of the one that I was like, all right. And then here's the other thing. The wife's looking at cats, and I've drawn, and she's in the same boat as me. She's completely with me on this. We want to make sure we adopt any animal from now on instead of going out and buying one from a breeder. But the ragdoll cats, she is a big fan of the ragdoll cats. Big fan of the ragdoll cats. So maybe you find a ragdoll cat. Smell is a sense of accommodation, MC says. If willing, obliged. I had made a friend that I lived with a pig in their house. Methane, the second door cracked. Really? They couldn't smell it. Pigs are actually kind of popular pets, especially down in the South. Stop it. It's so embarrassing. I'm going to have to like post the video without audio. Rather talk dogs and cats than LeBag. I'm so tired of his act, man. He's just, again, this is where the goat conversation started. When you pop up and you're doing stuff like that, like LeBron did, like when I heard that, I was just straight up like home improvement. That's what I was. I'm like, are you serious? Yet, like, he can't just let everybody, like, he has, what kind of insecurity would that be? Like the insecurity where you're fairly confident that everybody is thinking the things that you believe about yourself, like where you rank in history, what you can still do. But like he has to vocalize it. Dude gets all the attention in the world, yet he has to seek attention. It's just insane, man. For those that don't know what we're referencing, LeBron was at Fanatics Fest today in New York, asked how long he believed he could continue playing in the NBA. Here's his answer, while sideswiping a couple NBA referees.
A long time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like a long time.
So what do you think?
65, something like that.
65 years old. I mean, I believe you. Just like come in, get a quick tan, you can go sit down.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look, I don't get fouls called for me anymore, so I would say like get 3 layups and 4 free throws, but they don't call fouls for me. So
here's the other problem. You know who he was on stage with? Anybody recognize that voice? Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese is playing groupie to LeBag. LeBronda. While the Bradshaw shelter was there over 50 years ago, it's still there, man. Bradshaw has 136 cats available for adoption. Yeah. I know the family that owns the Bradshaw Vet Clinic. If you've ever been there, good people. Teacup pigs, very popular. Those little baby ones. Russian blues don't have dander. So people that have cat allergies aren't bothered by them. What the heck is dander? Do I even want to know what dander is? Dander sounds like it's in the conversation for the goat of words that are funny to describe like gross stuff. Like dander, schmutz. Those two would be in the conversation. What is dander? Haunted Horse thinks it's a Russian blue cat. Ryno, don't do a Phoebe and claim the neighbor's cat. I will not do that. Now, on the flip side of that, my parents, they had a neighbor who moved in and unleashed like a group of outdoor cats, like to the point where the cats were looking to be adopted by other people, like going into backyards and not wanting to go back to the house that's 60 feet away, 80 feet away. It happened to my mom. She ended up like getting really close with one of those cats. That's wrong, by the way. That's super wrong. Unless you live on like a bunch of land, acres, whatever you want to call it. If you're in a neighborhood, do not unleash like 10 outdoor cats on the neighborhood. That ain't cool. My guess is that is an owned pet. When they're feral, their coats aren't as nice as that one. Well, then what is it doing in my backyard? And why is it making me have feelings? Look at him. He's like, oh, it's cute. Oh my God. I know. I melted when I saw it. Thank you, MC. Please hit the thumbs up. We would appreciate that. Thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Easy to do right here. Also, by the way, we are expanding. Did you hear that? That was not supposed to go off. I have text messages for different people, and yes, that was just Jim Rome that went off. Not Jim Rome on the phone. Well, the sound of Jim Rome. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know how to do a show right now. Plus, there's too much wildlife in the area. Yeah. Dude, it could be worse. You could be somebody in China that's trying to not adopt a cobra. We hit that on the channel. See, that's what happened. I put it in the ether. I cover on the Rynos something that's completely terrifying and scary that has to do with animals, reptiles, and this cat interaction happens. I've never done anything to it, my man. Peter, first time ever seeing the cat last night. Could you not tell by my reaction? Could you not tell by my reaction that was my first time seeing this thing? There's a little kitty. Oh, poor baby. It was just sitting right here. It's okay. It's okay, Mama. Damn it. Yeah. There you go. Cats are great at keeping snakes out of your yard. We don't have snakes really in Elk Grove, but they are coming lower and lower here in Sacramento. The rattlers. Lynn likes dogs. I like dogs too. I'm a dog person. We have a great Pyrenees. He's a great dog. He's slowing down. We've done a lot to expand that dog's life. A ton. He is the longest living that we know of in his bloodline. but it was not easy. Anybody that knows about Great Pyrenees, they are smart as hell. They are stubborn as hell. And they're also herders. They're herding dogs. So, like they look at you like you're their sheep, And so, anyways, Gordo would eat until he falls over. And we had to, at about, what was it? Probably 8 or 9 is when we changed Gordo over to, before all these like different like food brands came out for the pets, like Fresh Food and Feed Them What You Feed Yourself, all that stuff. What's it called? Like Fresh Pet or whatever. Until or before that stuff came out, we started doing chicken and rice for him. And we would not just leave food out. He ate on schedules. So because of that, we've saved his joints, but we know he's slowing down tremendously right now, which is kind of sad. Which, see, that's another layer of it. Now I kind of feel bad because I've got like these feelings for this cat and my dog's slowing down. Damn, man. We're supposed to be talking about basketball here. What are we doing? Talking about cats? Goats? Anything else? I don't know. It's my show. Maybe he'll watch it and he'll give me feedback. If Grant can talk about travel, I can talk about cats. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Just saying. I don't know about that. Anyways, where do we even go from here? Do we just wrap the show up from here? Do we just call it a day? Say it was a good one? Horses. Kermal says, I have been around a horse. Like, not like, oh, I was around a horse one time, but lived somewhere where there was a horse for a couple of years. They're not bad. They're not bad. You just can't walk behind them, man. Like, what would be... okay, so there is one animal that it's not... Is it a mammal? No, it's not a mammal. It's a... Well, anyways, who cares what it is? It's not legal here in California. And I know everybody's going to be like, ferret, ferret, ferret. No, it's not a ferret. They're called axolotls. My son loved, he went through this axolotl phase. He still kind of likes axolotls. And basically what they are is they're tadpoles that don't fully develop because they get to this state of homeostasis where like they're so relaxed, and I might be doing a bad job of explaining this, but they're so relaxed that you can keep them in that like kind of stage and they won't like grow out, and they look super weird and super cute, and they are illegal here in California. So I'm not gonna lie to you. My wife and I at one time were like, cause we have our family has a cabin in Tahoe, well, in Strawberry, excuse me. It's like 15-20 minutes from Tahoe, South Lake. And she's like, do you think, because they're legal in Nevada, she's like, do you think you could get one over here? I'm like, dude, you could eat. I said, you know what? You wouldn't even need to do that. I'm like, go on Craigslist and search axolotl. I guarantee you can find one. You could here in California. You could find one here in Sacramento. I listened to the show. They get away from cats. Okay. All right. You DM'd me a video to watch after the show. I will do that. All right. All right. Anything else really going on in the sports world? We played some Adam Silver yesterday. I wouldn't mind playing a little bit more of it to see what else he had to say. He talked about the Clippers investigation, which we have been pretty all over. Let me get this fired up so you can actually hear what Adam has to say. But he had his Board of Governors meeting. Mickey Arison is taking over for, that is not the page that I wanted to screen share, but this might work out. Hold on. Let's go to here. Let's do that. Is that going to work? Works good enough. There we go. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. Let's get this fixed. 1 second. Bear with me. Live show. I don't want that, because then I don't get to see all you on that that page. There we go. This is what I'm looking for right there. Let's get to Adam Silver. So I don't know what other questions he was asked. Maybe somebody asked if he has a spine. We will see, because we rarely get to hear from the commissioner of the NBA, but we did yesterday. Let me switch this up so I don't get copyrighted. Here was Adam Silver yesterday.
All right, let's go to Tony in the second row. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim Booth in the fourth row, please, in the middle.
Seattle Times. Your yearly Seattle expansion question. What were the discussions around expansion at this meeting and where things stand? And you had previously said you expected multiple groups in both markets, but to date there's only been one group to come forward publicly in Seattle. Do you anticipate they will be the only group to express an interest in possibly bringing a team to Seattle? And does that affect the timeline of having an answer by the end of this year?
In terms of public, most of the groups that are interested have not been public, and that's any group that's chosen to be public.
No.
Is their decision.
But good for them.
So I wouldn't conclude that because there aren't other public groups coming forward, that therefore there isn't other interest in Seattle. There is. And I would also say same in Las Vegas. Some groups have been public. The majority of groups have not been public. So stop there on that portion. In terms of the process, over the last 2 days, there were discussions both at the committee level and before the board from Paul Taubman, our outside banker, about how the process is going, what he's hearing from the groups. As I said earlier, it's, price is one component, but I think there was as much interest as in who the groups would be, what the overall composition of ownership, and of course where they would play. And I'm still hopeful again that this process would be wrapped up by year end.
So let me just give some context really quick. If you are not super familiar with the Board of Governors and you're thinking like it's a group that is, each team has a representative, you're halfway right. The Board of Governors is when all of the owners get together and meet with the commissioner. That's why Mickey Arison was elected as the leader of the group of governors. But this was their meeting that they do in Vegas, kind of similar to baseball's winter meetings. They also have competition committees. This is where the owners get to air their grievances. This is where the owners get to propose changes, what's working, what's not working, etc. And I forget it was Jerry Reynolds that I asked about the last time the owners did this and got together and voted on the new rules for the draft lottery. And I asked Jerry, I'm like, would it have been out of line for the Kings to, and you know what? Damn it. That's what I meant to ask Scott Perry. Damn. Very rarely does something come to me like that and I don't write it down. I wanted to ask Scott about that and I freaking forgot to. Anyways, the Kings, should they have voted against the new lottery rules? Would that have been unethical? Would that have been going over the line? And Jerry said no, absolutely not, because Memphis voted against it for some obvious reasons. But anyways, because they have a lot of first round picks coming up. But here's Adam Silver still. talking about Seattle expansion.
And I feel what he's hearing from the groups, as I said earlier, it's, price is one component, but I think there was as much interest in who the groups would be, what the overall composition of ownership, and of course where they would play. And I'm still hopeful again that this process would be wrapped up by year end, and I feel we're very much on track.
Second row in the middle, Tony.
Hello, Commissioner. Tony Cañameras from Mundo Deportivo, Spain. My question, of course, is going to be about NBA Europe. Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum said back in June that you're ready to go forward with NBA Europe project, even without the EuroLeague, but also as NBA, you have always said that you want to do this with the EuroLeague. My question is, what are the sticking points for which you have not reached an agreement with the EuroLeague yet? And also, have you received bids for each of the target cities, and are these bids binding? Thank you so much.
Well, Mark Tatum is right in front of you. You could have just tapped him on the shoulder and asked him. I'm not going to be too specific about sticking points with the EuroLeague, other than to say, Chus Bueno, who's now running the EuroLeague, is a friend and a former.
It's a great question, and I am so frustrated is not the right word. I think it is confused, baffled, something in that neighborhood about the NBA doing NBA Europe and putting all of this attention and time into NBA Europe. It kind of feels like, no offense, because he does kind of look like Pinky, but it feels like Pinky in the Brain, like where you're trying to take over the world with basketball. When your game here domestically, your number one needs a lot of attention. Just because the TV money is good does not mean the league doesn't have some big problems. Tanking last year. I mean, even just to go to a system this drastic, for those that are listening after the fact on the King's Court podcast, I'm putting up the rules of the new 3-2-1 lottery. But to go to a 3-2-1 format where you legit, like the Kings might be a really bad team, an awful team, could happen. You could be a team that suffers an injury and you're an awful team. You get into the relegation zone and now you have, what was the percentage? If you're in the relegation zone, your highest percentage for a pick is 25%, and it's the 12th pick. All they needed to do, which they added to this new system, was expand the powers of the commissioner, because the current CBA did not allow for some expanded powers, like changing picks. Those are now there. Like Adam Silver has the power to now say, yeah, you know what? Let's say the Kings got injured. Let's say the Kings don't get injured. Let's just say they roll the ball out and they're just bad. They're a bad basketball team. It's worse than last year, but the only difference is they're playing their best players. If their best players are available to play, they're playing them, and they're playing them for 30 to 35 minutes a night. That's where Adam Silver, and he also has the power to change the odds for a team like that. That's all you would need to do. Conversely, if you're a team that's clearly tanking and you end up with really good odds and you're outside the relegation zone, don't think that teams are not going to be flirting with what the relegation zone is and what it is to be right outside of it. They will. Trust me, they will. You just needed to expand Adam Silver's powers. Jerry and I talked about this. Like, the Kings' best hope, if that scenario played out, where they're just bad, and they played everybody as much as they could, their best players as much as they could, in that case, you've got to lean on that rule that expands Adam Silver's powers to say, you know what, they did things the right way, they just stunk. Like, that's the point of a draft. It's for the teams that are not good to get better. You're going to have to pitch the commissioner. You're going to have to put a presentation together and say, look, we're in the relegation zone, but we really shouldn't be. We should have the best odds. Maybe meet us in the middle. But it's an overreaction, and this is just one area of the game that needed to be fixed. So back to NBA Europe, it's like, damn, is this really the time? And by the way, you also got the WNBA that you need to worry about if you're Adam Silver. I believe Adam Silver stepped in with something on the WNBA this past week. I'll look at that. And to Peter's question, they're trying to determine that. That's the $1 million question. Maybe if the Clippers get slapped with the death penalty, we'll find out how much an expansion franchise is worth.
Former colleague at the NBA, he's doing his job, of course, in representing those clubs and that organization. And Mark Tatum and I continue to have back and forth with him. I mean, it's very understandable what he wants in these discussions, and that's to preserve, the value created by the EuroLeague over the years, and for both of us, what's unique and special about basketball and Europe. Yes, I mean, we began on this path saying that our plan was to go forward, regardless of where the EuroLeague stood, but it was always our hope that we would be able to create some sort of consolidation of European basketball, and I remain optimistic we're going to be able to accomplish that. In terms of the bids, yes, we did receive multiple bids from all the cities, the initial cities that we hope to launch in, and we're not at the point of binding bids yet. I think those, I would call them initial expressions of interest. Again, complete with financial information, but I think everybody understood that once
I believe the Bus family is getting involved, or at least has made their intentions known to get involved with NBA Europe.
All right, third row on the right, on the end, Steve.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. This is a little forward-looking, I guess, but you mentioned the competition committee, and it got me wondering, what is the process and the timeline by which the All-Star format will get reviewed and possibly altered?
So, Steve, the first part of your question, we began reviewing the process, the moment the last All-Star game ended. I mean, the sort of post-mortem of what worked, what didn't. As you know, we were very pleased with what we saw, at the last All-Star game, and pleased that the players really stepped up and became engaged in the game. James Jones and others in the league office now are in discussions with the Players Association and our teams as to whether some improvements are, whether we can improve beyond where we were last.
It's simple. Your group of outgoing stars ruined the All-Star game. And at the head of that snake was LeBronda, LeBag, whatever you want to call him, James, who today said could score 10 points in the NBA all the way up until age 65. Anyways, the All-Star game's going to be fine as things progress. Wemby continues to become the face. Other players, young, like him, they're listening to him. They understand he's the future of this league. So the All-Star game's going to be completely fine. It's funny that he's from NBA.com asking that question.
What's your view on that type of framework in terms of the best practices that could be created to clean up sports, since you astutely noted that integrity is of the utmost? In light
Here's the good stuff. This is one of my favorite conversations when it comes to the NBA and gambling. 100%. Because the NBA wants to have control over what can be gambled on and what can't be gambled on, but still wants to take the money from the gambling companies for marketing. Love North Shore, by the way. Love the Beacon, which is kind of in between famous rum runners. Believe I spent my 21st birthday, part of it, at the Beacon. Very cool stuff. I see. I like Tahoe. I don't like Tahoe enough to live there full time. It's just not my speed. And I get you're close to a big city, but it's just not my speed. All right, so let's see what Adam has to say about gambling, and then we'll get ready to wrap up.
In light of the gambling scandals, a former U.S. attorney has proposed a framework for a federal.
Oh, by the way, Adam Silver 3 times already on the record before this answer has basically in his responses begged, and I'm paraphrasing, the federal government to step in and make regulations. He doesn't want it in the hands of the states. His problem with a lot of the gambling is the prop bets, the daily fantasies, the bets on the prediction markets. We'll just put it that way. His problem is with those. There's a simple way, a super simple way. Yeah, of course. We can discuss it today if you want. There's a super simple way to fix a lot of these problems and have those bets. It's offering no under. You can only do over. Back to the Adam Silver answer.
Federal sports betting commissioner, one that would have investigative and subpoena powers. What's your view on that type of framework in terms of the best practices that could be created to clean up sports, since you astutely noted that integrity is of the utmost concern for the leagues? Then, with the convergence of things like prop manipulation, insider trading, prediction markets, and alleged rig micro-betting, what's your views on a potential coalition between the other leagues that could come up with a collective standard here from a risk mitigation standpoint to clean up sports integrity across the board?
Thanks for the question. I'm not familiar with that specific proposal, but at least built into the aspects built into your question, I am in favor of. From the very beginning, even before the Supreme Court overturned PASPA and made sports betting legal or potential legal for every state, I was in favor of a federal framework. I think it puts the league in a difficult position when we're dealing essentially now with 40 different jurisdictions and their different approaches to sports betting. As you could imagine, from an administrative standpoint from us, we'd greatly prefer to have one national framework. And the idea of having some czar or commissioner who could oversee it and would have, subpoena powers that the league office doesn't have when we do those sorts of investigations, I think would be very helpful. I hadn't even focused on that idea, but and the same along your other list of horribles there of things that happen when you have a world of sports betting. I think that
you're exactly right, and that's the conundrum. It's the and I'm so glad that Debra. I'm gonna say Debra, because I have a friend who is he goes by Bra, and it has a sound drop to it. Do I have it? I've got to have it somewhere. I know I have it. No, I don't. Okay. Anyways, that is, and Debra says you can't only do over. It's how the companies always win. The juice. It is the juice. That's the point. The companies will not have these wild marketing budgets to sponsor the NBA, the NFL, to the point where studio analysts are putting together their props on player predictions. Adam Silver is asking the federal government to cut these companies at the knees, to slash their profits while these companies are pouring money in to the NBA. Do you hear Roger Goodell out here asking for federal intervention? Maybe he is, but not to the tune of Adam Silver. I have got to think the conversation behind the scenes between the different companies, one of which I have worked with, I have had as a sponsor, Prize Picks. I like Prize Picks. I enjoy Prize Picks. I don't think there's anything wrong with Prize Picks. My problem is with leagues like the NBA that are taking in the money, but then are pushing back and saying, well, you know, this is a problem for our league. This conversation, this question that Adam Silver is answering is a totally appropriate and well responded to answer if he doesn't have gambling sponsors, but he does. Like, I've got to think those partners are freaking livid because that is exactly what they are making the majority of their money on. And they were so happy, by the way, so happy when Team USA got eliminated from the World Cup. So happy because the house would have lost. The majority of the books would have lost had the World Cup been won by Team USA. So it's complete hypocrisy if you're Adam Silver.
I'm just as a reminder, I know you know this, but we have remarkably little control over how our intellectual property is used. We don't get to make decisions as to whether prop bets can be placed and what kinds of prop bets. I think ideally, we would be a party to that, and if it's a coalition with the other leagues, even better, and have those discussions about, to the extent there's going to be betting on our games, what kinds of bets are most problematic. You know, I've said before, the unders are the most problematic right thing in our league. There may be other kinds of bets that, you know, there's a lot of data out there that we indicate, but may also be more problematic, both potentially for the league, but also for the bettors as well. We recognize this is a form of entertainment, but at the same time, people can get over their head fairly quickly. And those kinds of controls also need to be in place. I mean, one of the benefits of legalized sports betting is you can carefully track and monitor bets that people are playing and turn people off when that's necessary. And I just lastly say that, again, as some sort of coalition, I have no doubt we can do a better job educating all the constituent groups. Of course, the current education we're doing for our players so that they can understand what's at stake if they were to engage in this kind of behavior and how draconian the discipline will be if they were to do those things, but then also on the betting side for people to make sure that they understand, you know, that the risk for themselves.
It's exactly what Tay is saying. It's what Peter is saying. It is my principal problem with all of this. What's going to happen is the worst thing. You know, the gambling companies, specifically the prediction markets, really may have shot themselves in the foot by getting into bed with the major leagues. Because people are going to play. I mean, people will play. But if you're going to take those away, and by the way, if you don't think those different markets they have PIs, they have high level investigators looking at trends in bets, looking at people placing the bets that are assigned to find the players or the proxies for the players that are placing bets that end up in scandals that break, like we've seen with so many other players with prop bets in the NBA, that's protecting their assets by pointing those out to the NBA and going public with those, because they don't want to be doing anything illegal either. They don't want to lose their business. And so Adam Silver talking about, we don't have control of our IP, federal government get involved. Great, stop taking the money. And guess who agrees with me? And the players get a cut of it? The players. This has turned dramatically. Gambling in social media has turned basically the players' streams, their social media accounts, into a mixture of soda and dry ice. They were always getting some ugly stuff. Now it's just gone to a different level. And we hear integrity of the game, integrity of the game, integrity of the game. I would love on the next census for there to be a question. Are you more worried about the integrity of a sports league or your money, the integrity of your bet on said sports league? Because I think it would be worried about the integrity of their bet on the league. So shame on you, Adam Silver. Shame on you. Like, if I'm those gambling companies, I am trying to find a way to terminate those contracts right now. And don't think for a second, if this thing goes towards federal legislation, just wait until the lobbyists for those companies, and I don't do politics here, but I do know how the political system works. Just wait until the lobbyists for those different companies that make most of their money on the prediction markets and the unders, just wait till the stuff that starts coming out of their mouths in front of committees, in front of wherever it might be. Just wait. I don't think it's going to be a good look for the NBA. And I am like one of a handful of people that I've heard talking about both sides of this coin. This is going to be, it's already going to be a big deal if you're going to put a federal mandate on sports gambling, but there is going to be a lot of mud and a lot of pie and a lot of tomatoes and everything else that you could think thrown at the stage that Adam Silver is standing on by those representing said companies, paying the NBA to advertise their products. It's going to be insane. That's going to be a 30 for 30 on its own. Adam Silver might have to watch his head. Might even get hit with a shoe. You never know.
Oh, that really hurt. I'm going to have a lump there, you idiot. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
You know what? Great Dabrab. Thank you, man. That was you're spot on. You put what I was thinking about into two sentences. Good job, Dabrab. Actually, no, you didn't put what I was talking about. You elevated the conversation, because that's the exact impasse that's going on here. So, hey, thanks for being here today. I'm the only show on today here on If You Don't Like That. We've got tomorrow to wrap up the week, and it's been a fun week. Thank you to everybody who has already joined early on our Kings Discord for the 26-27 season. It's the first time we're going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it. It launches mid-August. It will be subscription-based monthly. But if you want to get the entire season, the entire 26-27 Kings season, and a Founders Only Kings Court t-shirt, $20. Venmo, PayPal, there's the information right there. You can scan the QR codes. You will get one of those t-shirts as well, and the entire season. We'll be doing exclusive interviews on there with guests. We'll be having one-on-ones. We'll be having watch parties for a lot of away games. Looking forward to those as well, something that many of you have asked for in the past. And thank you to everybody who's already signed up. Your names are down there scrolling on the list. If you have any questions, you can email me, rynoandsacktown@gmail.com. Basically, what happens, you scan those codes, send the money, and I will respond to you, get your mailing address and also your email address, give you the instructions, or make sure that you sign up for Discord, and then ask you to provide me with your Discord username once you do that. And anybody who has signed up, they can tell you that that's already happening. So I've reached out to everybody that has signed up. So looking forward to getting that going. That's going to be a lot of fun. I have a feeling that's going to be a hit. So get in early on it, be a founder. You'll be listed as a founder on the Discord as well. So anyways, thank you. We're back tomorrow. We can talk more about gambling. Tay, you want to talk UFC? We'll hit UFC tomorrow. We'll also have our WWE segment to wrap up the week. You know what's I am not ending the show early for the cat. That's not what I'm doing. But you know what's crazy? I wish I could point my camera to my YouTube page right now, because the exact cat is on my YouTube page, like as a suggestion. That is insane how the technology listens to us. Not only is it showing me cat suggestions, it is showing me the exact same cat that I showed to you earlier on my phone. Holy crap. We're always being listened to with these devices. That is hilarious. Look, just so you know, I am not BSing. And by the way, if you weren't with us earlier, I wrote down where LeBron James is going to be going in advance, so you could see that. I put the date. That's not why we talked about him. Look at that. Is that not the same cat? Look, it's a YouTube suggestion. Holy crap. Technology is wild. Insane. All right. Have a great rest of the day. I am ending early because it is back to school night. The cat doesn't have a name. I don't even know if the cat's eaten all the tuna. The cat hasn't come within 5 feet of me outside, but the cat was right at my door. And I didn't know what to do about it. And I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. Y'all know this. What are you supposed to do? It's a stray. Super interesting. I saw, who was it? It was Carmel that put it in. Carmel. Shame on Adam, but she said that her first husband, was a marine mechanic, and she lived in North Shore. I know this because I have friends that have places in Tahoe. They are so incredibly, what is the right word? Stringent on what can go in the lake, the lake's quality. They're constantly testing it. They are super, super crazy about that. I know you can't have gas jet skis anymore. It's insane. It's their moneymaker. You got to keep that lake pretty. Yeah, the cat saga continues. The cat is not the co-host. I will not have a cat on my shoulder tomorrow. You will not knock on my door and automatically smell cat, mate. None of that's gonna happen. See, I come to you, I trust you. This would have been a Discord thing. Now I'm learning my boundaries. Should have never brought the cat into the King's Court. Should have never brought the cat. Isn't it it's the beacon, right? I thought that's the beacon. But you do like wood, Horse, so you would remember Woody's. So, no, I mean that. I think his house is made of wood. So, all right. Yeah, I'm pumped for Discord too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You don't know when I'm gonna pop on there too. We'll have our scheduled stuff, but there's gonna be a lot of unscheduled stuff that happens on Discord. Might even have some kings on Discord. We'll see. All right. But for now, today, we're out. I get to go meet my son's new teacher. Yes, he's already back in school. Track system. Gotta love it. Change this show name to the King's Cat. It was Woody's. All right. We're out. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Court is dismissed. If you want to catch up with Horse, you can find him in about 30 minutes on HollywoodRejects.com. We're out. See you tomorrow.